Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 784, and today's topic is the factors responsible of resistance of antibiotic. And resistance of antibiotic in 21st century today is a serious matter and very serious problem. So let us go back to the start of antibiotics. That was starting from 1928 when the penicillin was discovered. It was just fungal growth in petri dish, and John Fleming, one researcher in London hospital, he discovered that fungal growth, it is a common type of fungal growth. It can happen to any rotten material or vegetable or anything that greenish fungus. It was having some compound and that was prohibiting or killing the other microorganisms. So he published the paper in 1929 that there is such type of living organisms produced by other living organisms, that is in the form of mold, that is fungus. And actually the word antibiotic means means against, bio means life. So any compound, whether it is isolated out of living organism or it is synthesized, which is capable of either killing the disease causing living organisms or destroying it, is called antibiotic. And when it was discovered, the serious problem was, the challenge was how to produce in large quantity in the form of drug, because it was in very small quantity, it was not possible. So it took more than 10 years, and only in Oxford University they could develop the new technique of fermentation, and then on commercial basis they started producing, manufacturing. And by that time World War II was going on, so it was very much effective to treat the injured people, and lot of recovery was there. But later on in 60s and 50s there was serious deficiency of meat throughout the world because of World War II. So the scientists were very much busy how to multiply or increase exponentially the production of livestock, poultry and fish. So at that time in 50s, 40s, they started giving these antibiotics, terramycin and some other vitamins to livestock and fish for their very quick growth and addition of weight, and there was success. So after that, all these poultry farming and livestock and fish, they were all given as a feed of all these antibiotics and some other vitamins. So they became the carrier of all these antibiotics, and those who were working in those farms, they also got out of air contamination and out of those animals, and they were having such type of antibiotics, and they started developing the resistance. From there it started, and then they realized that and now these antibiotics are resistant to especially two type of bacteria, that is called gram positive and gram negative bacteria. And let me make it clear what are these gram positive and gram negative bacteria. In 1884, the Henry Gram, the scientist who gave the name, in his name the gram came. So he did the chemical test of these two, and he did the reaction with the dye. So he found that one bacteria is having purple color, and that stain was there, and the other bacteria could not sustain that purple color, it became violet. So that purple color he called gram positive, and the one which could not sustain the purple color, it became violet color, he called them gram-negative. But it is not the only color change that matters. Actually, the gram-positive bacteria was having the three layer of that is peptide polysaccharide membrane. It was having thick layer of three layers. That is gram-positive bacteria, and with genetic material DNA. While the gram-negative bacteria was having very thin single layer of polypeptide, polysaccharide, amino acid containing wall. And gram-positive bacteria was friendly. Of course, it is also having pathogen, but at the same time, some gram-positive bacteria, they are friendly to animal, to us, because they are in guts, gram-positive bacteria, and they are helping in our digestion. Our milk, which is converted into yogurt, is because of such type of bacteria. So many of the gram-positive bacteria, they are friendly to us and they are helping in our health and disease. But the gram-negative is not like that. Gram-negative bacteria is dangerous. E. coli, B. coli, and even in tetanus cases, they are capable of sharing the genetic material DNA with our normal cell, and in this way, in that sharing of genetic material, they can produce the plasmid, more stable. And once it is more stable, is produced, it is more resistant. So that's why they can produce toxins as well as they are themselves toxic. So gram-negative bacteria became very much harmful to us. So we started producing such type of antibiotics that they are called broad spectra. Means they are capable of destroying or killing the both type of bacteria, whether it is gram-positive or gram-negative. And let me make it clear here. It is, I call it war. The war of bacteria and human being is not today's war. It is not 100-year-old war. It is not 1,000-year-old war. It is billions of year old war. It has started billions of years ago, and it will continue with different new mutation, new changes. And we are failing. Most of the time, these bacteria which are causing the infection or disease, they are winner. We are loser. For example, today's report, that is January 9th, 2021. WHO report is saying that we are worried about the antibiotic resistance. There are a lot of bacteria now, they are resistant. So what are the factors responsible for this resistance? So there are some factors that we will be discussing. First factor is that now most of the people, they know about antibiotics. So first factor is overdose. Overdose means we have some small infection that even our body can recover. You know, once we get infection, whether it is bacterial or viral, in both cases, it is the clear indication that our immune system is failing. Otherwise, whatever bacterial or viral attack is there, it is always attack is there. On our skin, on our face, body, everywhere there are millions of virus and bacteria, they are floating. And we are living in this ocean or sea of bacteria and virus. And we are surviving. The reason is that our fighting cells, WBC, K killer cells, other protein, cytokine cells, they are so strong that they will fight and they will destroy, they will kill the pathogens, the disease causing bacteria and virus. So if we are getting bacterial infection, because today I am discussing bacterial infection, so it means that our immune system is weak. That's why we got the infection. So for that infection, we need antibiotics. Antibiotics mean that product, whether it is semi-synthetic, synthetic, or isolated from the living organism, is given 6 hourly to take it. So the problem is sometimes we are taking these drugs for nothing, without any reason. Very small, minor infection which would have been recovered by our own immune system by taking care, by steaming, by taking some analgesic tablets. But we are not doing, we are rushing for antibiotic because we think that antibiotic will take care. So first thing is that it is called overdosing. Secondly, once it is written by physician and doctor, prescribed dose, we should complete the dose. It is happening that it is given maybe for 1 month to continue. Prescription is there every 6 hours. Maybe it is a chronic infection, bacterial one. And after 10-15 days, you feel that you are okay. And then you will stop. It is happening in many cases that after some time they feel disgusted and says enough. Is wrong, because what doses are calculated on the basis of pharmacological action and lot of research, that this much amount is enough to clear all the disease causing bacteria. It will not allow to cause any multiplication, or the colony of bacteria will be completely destroyed. But after 15 days you have stopped. So someone are remaining and they become resistant. And there are two types of this disease causing bacteria. One is called sensitive type. The one which is sensitive to antibiotic, they will be destroyed, they will be killed by antibiotics. But the one which is not sensitive, so such type of which are left over because you have stopped on the way, you did not complete your course, they will become insensitive bacteria and they will be resistant. That is also one of the factor. The third one is that I'm not blaming doctors and physicians, but because of time factor, sometimes it is very difficult to distinguish, to identify whether this infection, particular infection, is viral or bacterial. For example, common cold, sneezing, cough, sore throat. All these are the indication that is they are viral flu, influenza. They are all viral. And there are a lot of doctors I have seen, they are giving antibiotics. And not only doctors, sometimes with our common sense, because now everybody is doctor. With this WhatsApp and Facebook information age, digital age, everybody will take. It's wrong. First thing is that it is my humble request to even physicians that if you have any doubt, you are not able to identify whether it is viral infection or bacterial infection, please let them go for test. And after that chemical test, when it is very clear that whether it is bacterial, whether it is viral, which is parasitic, this malaria, everything will be clarified. Then you can give the specific antibiotic, because antibiotic is there for a specific strain, a specific bacteria, gram positive, gram negative. So that is also one of the reasons that you have the viral infection, you are treated with antibiotics, and in that case those bacteria which are there in your body, the harmful ones, they become resistant. And then densely population. Once the area is densely populated, we cannot maintain good hygiene. And that's why there is more chance of propagation of pathogens. Very easily you can get lot of bacterial infection. So that is also one of the factors where very easily you are getting, very quickly you are getting infection, and very quickly you are treating with antibiotics. So very frequent use of antibiotic, overdose of antibiotic, misuse of antibiotic, all these factors are responsible of making antibiotic resistance, bacteria. So these are, and nowadays, if in case it's totally failed, and they are totally resistant. What will happen in 21st century? Because every bacterial infection we are treating only by one magic drug, and that is called antibiotics. So in that case, cesarean operation, pregnancy, chemotherapy in cancer cells, and lot of other surgical operations, it will not be possible, and there will be lot of casualties. Of course, this antibiotics, it is started some 50, 60 years ago. With this time, we could save millions of the people, and we have lot of confidence of treating any bacterial attack. Oh, not a problem. Tuberculosis and whatever, we will treat. We are confident that we will be recovered, which was not possible in 1940s and 30s. But today, it was possible. And another factor is, within this 50 years time, we are still relying on the same penicillin derivatives, and with different type of species we are isolating and synthesizing. So far, within 50 years, there is no any breakthrough discovery in antibiotics. So we have to be very active, very serious because of this antibiotic resistance, and we should put our head together in research lab and try to discover some other new, potent and more effective antibiotics once they are resistant. It needs a lot of extensive and expensive research to have a new antibiotic drug, either in the form of development by microorganisms, in the form of fungus, or synthetic one. We have to do. So these factors what I have given, I have told you, that is over prescription of antibiotics. That is very clear. I have already given the explanation. That sometimes for very, very small infections, we are taking lot of antibiotics, and people are prescribing, doctors, immediately within 1 month, within 2 months, go this antibiotic, go take tetracycline, go and take erythromycin, and then streptomycin, lot of different type of antibiotics, and then the sensitive one will be killed and destroyed, and the one which is not sensitive will remain, and once they remain, they will develop resistance, and they will propagate because they communicate also. At nano level, these bacteria, they have their own networking. So the small one, weaker one, they will support and they will become also strong. So finally you will be resistant to antibiotic. Number 2, patients not completing entire antibiotic courses. That I have already told you. That is also one of the factors that why they are having resistance. Number 3, overuse of antibiotics in fish and livestock farming. We are overusing because of our greed to get more product. Very quickly multiplication, exponential growth in weight by giving antibiotics, by giving lot of mineral and vitamin. That is also one of the factors. That's why it is resistant. Number 4, poor infection control in healthcare sector and setting. In many places we don't have hygienic condition. We don't have very good infrastructure in health care sector. We don't have enough manpower, enough skilled physicians and doctors who can identify whether it is bacterial attack, amoebic attack, parasitic attack or viral attack. Because antibiotic is specific for those bacteria. And number 5 is used to treat viral infection. It's very common. Now they are using antibiotic to treat virus, which is not possible. Virus means like COVID-19 disease is caused by virus corona. And that corona you cannot treat with any antibiotic. But people gave the antibiotic maybe because they have evaluated that because of this they have the cytokine storm of their respiratory system. It is seizing and they are getting pneumonic condition. They are going to ventilator, and in that pneumonic condition there is symbiotic process. Sometimes they are working as a bacteria, sometimes they are working as a virus, so that you give the antibiotics as well as antiviral so that both are killed by one stone. So this is not applicable, because we have to do a lot of research. Now we have started getting vaccine, and this vaccine at least will be capable of breaking the cycle of this coronavirus, and then it will become weaker and weaker, and after weakening, maybe within 1 year or 2 years time, we may get fully recovered globally. So the factors that have caused antibiotic resistance, that I have already discussed, I have given you in detail, and the same thing in the form of summary I have written here, so that the students who are interested, they can copy down. And number one, antibiotic resistance has become a global threat. It's a global problem, serious problem, that is antibiotic resistance, and also it is noticed by World Health Organization, that is WHO. And with antibiotic awareness, it is important to understand the factors that have led the world to this problem. So now we have to understand that what are the reasons, what are the factors responsible for this antibiotic resistance, and those factors I have already discussed. And the use of antibiotics have saved millions of lives, but its overuse to treat any infection, whether serious, minor, and even to viral infection, it led to increase in antibiotic resistance. These 3 points I have already told you. Antibiotic strictly target bacteria. It is strictly for bacteria to destroy or to kill, not the virus or other pathogen. So that is very specific. But sometimes it is difficult to differentiate between bacteria and virus, and wrongly it is given for the treatment. That is also one of the factors. That's why we have antibiotic resistance. And number two, antibiotic courses are designed to eradicate entire population of the pathogens. It is designed in such a way so that full course is given to destroy the entire population of pathogen which is present in our body. So what is happening when an antibiotics are not taken for entire prescribed course? The full course is not taken. Once it is incomplete, in that case the sensitive one will be killed, but the others which are not sensitive, they will become resistant, and once they are living, they will be more dangerous. That is also one of the factors that misuse of antibiotics, not completing the full course, is also making the bacteria to be resistant. And when the antibiotics are not taken for entire prescribed courses, pathogenic bacteria can adopt and form population that is completely resistant. So they can form their own population and group, and in that colony they will be more resistant. So antibiotics will fail. Number three, every day antibiotics are used to treat livestock and fish to prevent infections. So those who are doing fish farming or poultry or livestock, animal husbandry, all those things, they are using every day in the form of liquid, in the form of powder, to protect from infection. That is also one of the cause of resistance. Those people who are working there, they are contaminated and they are carrier of this antibiotics, where they become resistant. That is also one of the factor, become resistant. Number four, in mega cities like Delhi and Lagos, densely populated people are exposed to more pathogens. Once population is dense, more interaction, more pathogens, more bacteria, density of bacteria is also increased with the increase in population, directly proportional to population. That causes lot of bacteria, and once the more bacteria population means there will be resistance. In this way, we are pathogen to the community will be available, and lack of hygiene, poor sanitation, and in urban centers, it becomes breeding ground for the bacteria, and once it becomes breeding ground, of course, a lot of multiplication will be there and some will be resistant. So these are all very, very serious factors. So with this I will stop. Thank you very much for watching the lecture.